Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another video, and here we have the review for the Hasbro Marvel Legends series Ultimate Riders Wave 6. This is the Punisher. So these are now starting to hit Target, but online places like Entertainment Earth, you know, other resellers are starting to get the Punisher as well, and we'll be shipping out soon. I got lucky, found it at my local Target store this morning. They did get a case. There were 2 Punishers and 1 Squirrel Girl in the case. Go head out to my Instagram and you can actually see a picture of the figures in the case. The DPCI is 087161799 if you're curious and want to go look. If you use like popfinder.com, you can look for the spikes in inventory to see when they get it. So 2 Punishers per case, 1 Squirrel Girl. They share all the same DPCI. The same with Cosmic Ghost Rider, is all the same DPCI. And speaking of Cosmic Ghost Rider, we have the Punisher. So now we actually have 2 Frank Castles in the Ultimate Riders line. Cosmic Ghost Rider, of course, being Frank Castle as Ghost Rider, and then Frank Castle as the Punisher. So really cool. We get the large Punisher logo down there at the bottom. We see all the different accessories that he comes with, which is really cool. So we got a machete, we have a baseball bat, we have a sawed-off shotgun, we got 2 automatic rifles, I would say. I'm not sure exactly what they are, but they are realistic looking guns, so that is great. We get an additional interchangeable head and then a crazy looking helmet. We get the Punisher logo up at the top. On the side of the package, we get some awesome artwork by David Nakayama. Looks really, really cool. Here on the back of the package, mine's kind of all beat up and stuff. We have a closer look at some of the stuff in the figures. The bio for him reads, Frank Castle rides through the night dispensing brutal vigilante justice. So yeah, at night. So I guess that makes sense why his eyes look the way they do. Heavy, heavy bags because he's tired and he's beat down. So let's open it up and review it. Of course, with all pretty much all the riders, there is some assembly required, so we actually get the handlebars, which you have to install onto the motorcycle itself. But looking at the speedometer, that is really cool. We actually get a Punisher logo right in there. I always seem to have trouble doing this with some of the other ones, or I have in the past. I'm going to try and do this pretty easily, because all we have to do is put in the handlebars, unlike some of the other ones had some other stuff to put on and whatnot. But we just poured it in. Like so, bam, voila, done. That was easy. So now let's take a look. Okay, so here's Punisher on his motorcycle, and there's a lot of good things with this, and there's a few things that are pretty bad. So let's take a closer look at the Punisher figure, the motorcycle, and all of his accessories. Okay, so taking a closer look at Punisher, so some really good things going on. This body looks to be using like the Luke Cage Hydro Man body. I'm trying to think if Luke Cage was the first one that we've seen it on the Netflix. Luke Cage, it's the same body, but he's got new shoulders, so the the rolled up sleeves a little bit. Those are going to be new. I'm not sure if the hands are new. We've probably seen the hands before, but first I want to talk about the things that I don't like about the figure is these shoulders. So they used molded black plastic and then painted on the skin color for the rest of his arm, and it looks bad. It doesn't match, and normally that sort of thing doesn't bother me. It's just that you could see a lot of the black fading through, and I thought Hasbro had come a long way from doing stuff. That reminds me of some of the older stuff that Hasbro really used to do. On the hands, they did the same thing. It's not such a big deal on the hands because it's not as noticeable, but right here on the shoulders, because the bicep goes right into that shoulder, you could see it, and it's just kind of ugly looking. Not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, but they should have used the skin color and then painted on the sleeves. I think that would have been better. But then also, how paint rub would have been when moving the shoulder, who knows? But that's the way they did it. But anyway, this first head sculpt, this is the one that actually comes on the figure right out of the package. It's the battle damaged one. He's kind of all jacked up. He's got some scars, some cuts. He actually has some butterfly bandages on there, and it's all painted quite nicely. Everything looking, yeah, really nice. So you got like a red scar cut that's on his cheek, and the forehead with the white butterfly bandages. Looks really good. He's got like heavy bags under his eyes, so he's got blue eyes, but then he's got a lot of pinkish color around his eyes because he just looks beat up and tired, and that just looks really good. The skull logo on his shirt looks pretty good. Then the rest of the figure's just all done in black. Not a whole lot going on for it. Nothing on the back. He's got these shoulder straps. I forget what this is called. I don't know if it's a bandolier or that's usually a bag or whatever that is. It's on there. Can't remember if this is from another figure or not. I feel like it is, but I'm not sure. It's something that, like Werewolf Cap should have come with instead of just those pieces that end up falling off. And then he's got ammo storage right here on his left leg. So that's pretty good. Now we're going to pop this head off, and we're going to stick on the other head that he comes with. So here is the normal looking Frank Castle head, and these are new head sculpts. That looks really good. Really comic booky. I was talking to my buddy Derek, Plastic Soul Collector. He was saying, you know, like the deep receding hairline, very comic booky. So it's really great when we get that in figure form. But that just looks really good. No battle damage to him at all. He comes with this helmet right here, and I forget what the helmet is from. It's like an Ares looking helmet, but it's from I think a newer storyline, and it fits on there quite nicely. It's done in a silver color, and then the horns are done in a very bright, shiny brown paint. So that's kind of weird. I'm sure brown was the color from the comic, but usually when I see horns, I would think of like a bone color, maybe like this color of the bat on the horns, but just the shiny brown plastic doesn't look all that great either. Not that big of a deal, but you know, is what it is. So let's talk about accessories. It comes with a baseball bat. This baseball bat does not look good. It's done in a shiny tan color plastic. There's no paint, there's no molding or anything to kind of give it that wood grain look for a wooden bat. So to me, it just doesn't really look good, but it is a bat. What can you say? The shape of it is nice, just doesn't look detailed or textured or anything. We get this machete. The machete looks good. The blade is a nice silver color. The handle is a brown color. It's just very light brown looking plastic, so that's kind of unfortunate that it wasn't like a darker color. I think would have been better. But, you know, that's what we got. We have the sawed-off shotgun, which looks pretty good. As you can see there. The handle is done in a shiny brown color as well, like a reddish brown. Same with the pump right there on the bottom. It looks good, sculpted nicely. I just don't care for the brown, but it does look really good. So here for one of the two guns that he has, we have this one. You guys let me know down in the comments below what type of gun this is, because I have no idea and don't even want to try and guess. But that looks good because it's very realistic looking. And then we have this one, and I feel like we've seen this one before. I don't know if it came with Deadpool, or I think the Deadpool ones actually look pretty not realistic. So this one looks pretty good here. You guys let me know down in the comments below what type of gun this is. And then we have the motorcycle. So this is the same motorcycle that we've seen over and over and over and over again. So who had it? Ghost Rider had it. Wolverine had it. Captain America had it. Trying to think if there was anybody else. I think that was it. So we've had it before. It's the same thing. I don't think there's any differences to it. I'll have to double check and look at all the other ones closely, but I believe it's the same. Not a whole lot going for it. It's all black, but we get jet black for the exhaust pipes, so that is really cool because it sets it off from the matte finish of everything else. The lights right there, the brake lights, are done in a nice shiny red color, so that's cool. The license plate is really cool there. It says Punished 616, so I like that. New York City. That's cool. We get some red lights in the front, and then the headlight right there is done in a white plastic translucent color, which makes it look realistic as if the light, you know, wasn't on. I'm trying to think of what the other ones look like, and they could be the same. It's just there's so many figures, I have a hard time remembering it all. And then of course that Punisher logo on the speedometer. So again, all the same, no paint apps or anything like that, but all blacked out. It does look really good. So there we go. Now let's take a look at Punisher's articulation. Okay, so looking at Frank Castle's articulation. So the head, he can look all the way down, he can look all the way up, so that is good. Of course, we get the full rotation in there. You get teeny tiny bit of head pivot going on. Shoulders can go up that high. That's it, not a whole lot. Full rotation, of course. Upper bicep swivel there, double jointed elbow, and wrists swivel and hinge. And silly me, I forgot to mention this earlier when we're up close on him, but look at those elbows. No pins. So we got the pinless tech going on. So this is now my second figure to have the pinless tech on the elbows. First was War Machine, and now Punisher. So there you go. No pins. They hold up very well. I was worried that they'd be loose and gummy, but they hold up very, very well. So no pins. So that is cool. The ab crunch on this guy, he can crunch forward that much. So that was not a whole lot. That is like barely anything. So be aware of that. Going back, not a whole lot going that way either. So it is very limited in there. And then, ooh, you know what? Maybe this is a new body because there is no waist swivel on this guy. Wow. So that has to be a new body, right? Because didn't Luke Cage have a waist swivel? I'm pretty sure Hydro Man, he had a waist swivel too. So no waist swivel on this guy. They should have given him a diaphragm rocker instead of an ab crunch then, if they're going to do that, because now how are you going to do any kind of turn? You just turn his head and that's it. So there's another thing I don't like. Legs go that far apart, and I get that he's supposed to be on the motorcycle, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but come on, right? Come on. Leg can kick out forward that much. He is not really going back. You have an upper thigh cut in there. You got a double jointed knee, which works well. You have a foot that hinges down hardly anything, because that boot is going to hit his jeans. If it goes up a little bit, you get some ankle pivot in there, and you have peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So, wow, pinless tech, that's cool. Ab crunch, terrible. No waist swivel, damn. So, is what it is, but what I will say is he's going to look really good on the motorcycle and not really anything else. Okay, so here's a very odd one. I put Punisher next to the Luke Cage figure, and yes, they do share the same body, but for whatever reason, Punisher does not have a waist swivel. I just heated it up to see if I could kind of break it, see if it's just stuck. So either mine's just really, really stuck, or he doesn't have a waist swivel, which is weird because it's the same body, the same lower torso, the same hip joint. I don't know what's going on. It could just be mine. I don't know. So I don't know what's going on with it. Okay, so I actually looked it up. This is the Kill Crew helmet that he actually comes with. Although the suit, the body is not actually Kill Crew, it's just the helmet is, because you know, he would have had the more classic looking skull, and then he would have had like the utility belt in front, similar to the classic Punisher look there. So the Punisher, getting him onto the motorcycle, you know, you kind of have to work it a little bit to get it to really look good on there. So you really have to kind of get the hands out. You have to crunch the ab forward the one little bit that it can go when getting them on there. But then you would just work the hands on into the handlebar like so, and you can actually get him to sit down fairly nicely on it, whereas you know, like with some of the other figures, they didn't quite sit down all the way on it like Punisher pretty much can. Like Wolverine, I think Wolverine was just a little too short to be able to do it, but that is how you get Punisher on the motorcycle. Obviously that's self-explanatory, but just want to show you guys kind of how it looks on there. Okay, so looking side by side at some of the other motorcycles, I only pulled out the Wolverine one because it's probably the most plain or basic out of the bunch. You know, he doesn't have the additional like shield type piece in the front like Captain America and all the flame effects and stuff like Ghost Rider. So the motorcycles are the exact same. There's absolutely no difference. Actually, you know what? Wait a second. Is there a difference? Yes, there is no difference to these motorcycles. The only thing would be obviously the color, but the red that they use for the lights are definitely better because we actually get a shiny red as opposed to a matte looking orangish color of like the Wolverine one. But other than that, same exact motorcycles. Okay, so we've gotten a lot of Frank Castle Punishers over the years. We also have the vintage one that I did not bring out. And then I also did not bring out the Cosmic Ghost Rider, even though that, yes, that is Frank Castle. But here we have some of the different Punishers. Now, I know everyone's going to ask, well, can you do some head swaps? I'm sure you can. We'll actually try it right now. I think it's going to be a little odd because these heads are all quite smaller than this new Punisher head. But we will take a look. So we'll get the 80th anniversary one and we'll try and pop it on. If it fits, it's going to look really, really small. It does fit on there, but again, a tiny head, big body, tiny head. I don't think that works out too well. So let's try this one on this one. I think it's going to be a big head, little body. Big head, little body, but can be done. Let's see the more classic looking Punisher with the non-battle damage head, since I have it readily available. You gotta have to force it on there a little bit. It looks good, except big head, little body. So I don't recommend that. Now let's see the classic head onto the new Punisher. And it fits on there, but big body, little head. So you can do head swaps, but I don't think they're gonna look very good. Okay, but how's about we try one more head swap? Here we have the Punisher War Machine, or War Machine Punisher. I guess I'll pop that head off. Let's see if the Frank Castle head will go on there. And it doesn't pop on, it just sits on there, but then it sits really low and looks really, really, really weird. Okay, so my final thoughts on the Punisher figure in the Riders line. It's a good looking figure, but the lack of waist swivel is kind of unfortunate. The way they painted the shoulders and the hands are kind of but it's a really good looking figure, so I don't want to take away from that. We've gotten this motorcycle several times now. This is now the 4th time. It's a very good motorcycle. I don't mind it. They change up little things like, well, actually in this case they only changed up the handlebars, but it's something that at least differentiates from it. It's all black, so I think it looks really good and stands out compared to the other ones because they all going to get some funky paint schemes going. But I do really like the all black. The accessories are cool, but there is no way of storing any of those accessories on the motorcycle or on Punisher itself. Not that big of a deal, but it would have been nice to get something. I do really like it. For $40, I think you still get good value in the pack. You know, the pinless tech on the arms is a nice touch because we've seen that with the kind of the premium higher price figures, you know, the Deluxe War Machine, the X-Men 20th Anniversary figures. So it's something that's slowly getting introduced, so it is nice to have. This one, if you have the other Riders figures, you know, I think this one is something that you're going to want to pick up. If you love Punisher, you're definitely going to want to pick this up. But you guys let me know down in the comments below your thoughts. Are you getting it? Have you come across it yet in Target? Did you order online and is it shipping already, even though pre-orders literally just started? I'm curious. Let me know everything down in the comments below. If you guys liked the video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, hit the notification bell, and as always, thank you for watching.